Hello, Brian T, Product Line Manager for Senko Advanced Components, and on this video segment we're going to talk a little bit about MPO maintenance as well as show you one of our new products that's made to help you with polarity testing. So if you're working with MPOs in a production environment, or if you're working with MPO assemblies in the field, you want to watch this video segment. We've got some good information for you.
Okay, so let's get started. So remember, this box works for 12 and 8 fiber MPOs. It's super simple to get started. On the back, we have our power switch, which we turn on, and we have a toggle switch here that goes between the different modes. And here is the port where you put the cord to keep the battery charged. This unit has about a 5-hour battery life. Now, one of the pieces of advice I'd like to share with you to help get the most life out of your box is always keep the plugs in when you're not using the test set. This will keep things from getting onto the end face. Now, to get started, it's really easy. I'll pull protective cap, and I'm going to use our Smart Cleaner MPO tool. I'll go through, I put it in, give it a quick push, and that's helping to ensure that we have a clean port before we get started.
Now, when you're dealing with MPOs, if you've been dealing with them for the first time or whether you've been dealing with them for years, you know that polarity is extremely important. Now, there's a ton of articles out there that you can go look up on the internet about the different polarities, but basically it boils down to there's 3 polarity methods. There's A, which is key up, key down, straight through, B, which is key up, straight through, and C, which is key up, key down, and they cross the pairs inside the assembly. So our box will go through and let you know whether you have a method A, B, or C assembly, or if there's a problem with it. So let's take a look.
Okay, so let's run a test real quick. We have a cable assembly here. We're not sure the polarity method. So what we're going to do is use our box to check it. First thing I'm going to do is remove the end cap and clean the end face using our Smart Checker MPO cleaner, and repeat, doing the same for the other side. It's a very quick process. Now I'm going to pull the protective plugs, and we're going to clean the ports of our box using the same Smart Checker tool. We plug our assemblies in. Now, what I'll do is I make sure the setting is on the mode for check, and we turn it on. And that quickly we can see we have all the fibers lit, and it's a method C assembly. Now, what happens if we have an issue, and I'll change the polarity on this to make it wrong, because a method C uses the key up, the key down. So if I put this in, we get an alert letting us know that there's something wrong with the polarity that we need to check. If one of these fibers was broken, you would see these lights off. Our box also works for single mode connectors. Now, I've cleaned the ports ahead of time, and I've cleaned both ends. I simply plug it in just like I did before. This is an angle polish connector. We turn it on, and just like that, you can see that everything is good, and this is a method B. So here's an example of a method A that I'll show you for testing, except this time I'm going to use a cable that's got multiple MPOs on it. So maybe you could use this in the field for testing trunks or on a benchtop. In this case, we only have to do one thing a little bit different. I've got a reference cable here that I've cleaned that it has the male guide pins on one and the female on the other. So I just plug the female into the port. In this case, I'm going to use a key up to key down adapter, and I'm going to check my first trunk. I turn it on, and I can see which end is working. Now, what I can do for the test is plug this into the port, switch the mode on the back, and you can see very quickly it's a method A cable assembly and all 12 fibers are being lit up. The test box is going to be used for more than just MPO connectors. Here I made a special assembly. I have a 12 fiber MPO broken out to 12 LC connectors. So I can use this for testing continuity on my single fiber connectors as well. So I'm going to clean my connector, plug it in. Now, if I wanted to check, if I were in the field and I wanted to check the continuity of one of my cable assemblies, I could use a standard LC adapter, plug it in. It's important to make sure you always clean the connectors, both ends, before you mate them so that you don't accidentally cross-contaminate. Clean my LC. Plug it in. I can turn my box on and I can check and verify that we have continuity on it. There's many more other ways that we can use this box for testing, especially in the field. For example, I have a 12 fiber MPO cassette that's broken out to LCs. I can come in and I can see if my cassette module is passing light, using it for continuity test. Here's another example that you could use in the field. This has two MPOs in the back and it goes to CS duplex connectors in the front. So if I want to see which MPO to manage the polarity is going to the CS connectors in the front, I can use the box to check.
Okay, so that's a lot of different things that you can do with the Senko MPO polarity and continuity tester. If you want information on this product or any of the other products that we have in the testing portfolio, email us at sales@senko.com or get a hold of your local Senko salesperson and they'll be happy to help you, and you can schedule a demo of these units if you're interested. Thanks a lot.